Welcome to this special episode of the John Henry Weston Show, where we're going to be talking about what is going on January 6th, that huge day which Trump has called a massive rally for, which seems to be the last hope for the election of Donald Trump, for election integrity in America. We're going to speak with lawyer and vice president of LifeSite News, Gualberto Garcia-Jones. Stay tuned. Let's begin as we always do with the sign of the cross. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gualberto, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
We are talking about something that is really on most people's minds, especially Americans who care about election integrity, especially Americans who are just flabbergasted by what's been going on in the media, hiding the truth of this election, hiding what's been going on, and really the millions of Americans who are going to be disenfranchised, the tens of millions of Americans who are going to be disenfranchised by what is going on. So please tell us, what is January 6th? Why is it so important?
Well, January 6th is pretty much the last day for the political process to come to grips with what happened on November 3rd. And what happens on January 6th is the Electoral College votes are officially counted and received by the U.S. Congress, and basically this whole operation, the whole procedure that's happening on the 6th, is headed up. It's presided by the vice president, who is the head of the Senate, and it's a joint session of Congress. So you have both the House of Representatives and the Senate, and they will be officially forwarding the recommendations of the states and the Electoral College votes, which is how the American elections are decided. And so the interesting thing about the 6th is that there is a process to contest the results of the Electoral College. And there have been now, I think, over 20 representatives and potentially a couple of U.S. senators that have said that they intend to object to those results.
Right. So one might think Senator Cruz, because there are many House reps who are going to contest it. That we know. We've seen that in the news over and over again. But Senator Cruz, has there been any word yet?
I haven't heard anything from Senator Cruz. The one senator who has publicly stated that he is considering it is the newly elected senator from Alabama, Senator Tuberville. And so Senator-elect, because actually he's sworn in on January 3rd. So it would be one of his first acts would be to defy the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, who's publicly stated that he doesn't want any shenanigans. He doesn't want to contest the election at all. And so this is really a showdown between the people who are upset at what happened on the 3rd and really the loyal Trump followers and Trump himself, who's still maintaining that the election was fraudulent, and then the establishment. Absolutely.
Now, anybody who's been following at LifeSite News, and I encourage people to do that, because just to see the amount of evidence of voter fraud that has gone on, that is right there, caught on video, testified. Hundreds of Americans have signed affidavits testifying to their witnessing of electoral fraud. And yet the media keeps trumpeting this nonsense about, there's no evidence, no evidence.
Right. And the real collusion, right, is not with Russia, but it's really big tech and what they have done to throw their incredible technological prowess and the gatekeeper status that they've earned behind, discrediting the president, first of all, censoring any outlets that disagreed with their narrative, like LifeSite News, and then even now threatening deplatforming if anybody dares to question the election. And so this is a very interesting thing. I don't know if we'll be able to put this video on YouTube. I hope that we can, but we'll have to think about that. And really, this is a pivotal moment for the United States. And no matter what happens, it's going to be a very difficult process to pull off, because just to give you an overview of what will actually happen on the 6th is they will start to count these votes. You have to have at least one congressman from the House and one congressman from the Senate to object to it. So you need one from each chamber. And then the Congress would go into a joint session meeting, a maximum of 2 hours, and they would have to have a majority of both houses to vote to exclude the contested electoral college votes. And so that's very difficult because the House is still under the majority rule of the Democrats, and probably they won't break. And then we know that in the Senate as well, it's very close, and a lot of senators like Senator Mitt Romney, a prominent rhino, and probably a lot of other ones will not contest the election. And so it's definitely an uphill battle, but at least it's a chance for these grievances to be aired, because the big lie, I think, is that all of these concerns have been aired and discredited, right? Debunked, which is the popular word, but that's not true. What the courts have done in almost all of these cases is said they don't want to get involved. And so what we're left with is a political machine on the left that had no problems pulling every trick in the book, and then the courts that decided to simply abscond and not get involved. So really the only challenge here is a political challenge.
Okay. So hugely important now, because that way with these votes, I understand that they'll be on record as to where they voted, will they not?
Exactly. And that's really what this is about. This is about the next 2 years and the next 4 years, and really knowing who is here to represent the people, and who is in politics, who is an elected official that really just wants to go along to get along.
And I think one supremely important aspect of this is what we can do. Americans need to act, and they need to act now. Yes, it's Christmas time, and yes, normally we're laid back, but at this point, for the sake of the future of American democracy, Americans need to act. And there's a great way for them to do that, if you can explain it.
Yeah, well, LifeSite News has found another way to be of service to our readers, and we have created a tool where people are able to very quickly find their elected representatives. Just a click of a button, they enter their zip code, their address, and immediately they'll get the ability to contact their legislators via Twitter, via email, and even a phone call. And so all of that information will populate, and you can reach out to your individual legislators to tell them that you want to make sure that the American election integrity is preserved. And so that's something that we have on the website. You can find it on an article that we wrote on what's happening on the 6th. We'll link to it in this video. And it's very easy, and it's very important that these congressmen know that the people want them to ensure election integrity.
And it's an amazing tool because it enables people with the click of one button. They go in and enter their message, and with one button, they get to all these different channels. You're contacting your senator, your congressman on their own Twitter feed, on their Facebook feed, and also directly, and if you so wish, the phone number's there for them to call as well. And I think we should probably stress that phoning them is probably one of the most powerful things people can do.
Right, because it takes up the time of their office. Politics is the art of getting reelected. And so they know that if enough people want them to do something and they don't do it, and they side with the establishment and it's politics as usual, that's going to hurt them. And so I think it's incredibly important for people to make their voices heard, and to really stand in the way of this clear election interference by big tech, by the establishment, and those testimonies, heart-wrenching testimonies of hundreds of people, those need to be really analyzed, really listened to. And the only way to do it is to go the political route and to really, really demand from these legislators that they stand up for their constituents.
So really, America, it's now up to you. You have this opportunity to reach out right now to your senators, to your congressmen, to let them know where you stand and what you expect of them on January 6th. They've got to do it for the future of America, and you've got to let them know. This will only work with you letting them know. And don't take it just to let yourself do this. Let all of your friends, let all of your family who are so inclined do this as well with you. This is important for the future of American democracy. And this is the same issue, the same kind of issue that Americans already bled and died for. So this is as serious as it gets in terms of your own personal responsibility right now. So really, while we're in this season, it's a season of hope and of religious thanksgiving and of obviously worshiping our Lord as he entered the world to assist us to come to salvation. But he also asks of us to take part in the cross. And yes, it's a cross to do these things. It might be a cross even to talk to your own friends and family to get them to also do these things. But we really need you. America needs you right now to do this work for the country.
Absolutely. And I would just add one thing, John Henry, that is that this isn't about partisan politics at this point. This is really about the people, because the weight of the Republican Party doesn't want to cause this type of kerfuffle, right? They've given up already. And you can tell that from what Mitch McConnell is saying. This is really about the people standing up for the election integrity. And that's not a partisan issue. And so it's so incredibly important that we do make our voices heard. This is the beginning of the ability to actually reclaim the democracy that I think was taken away from us November 3rd.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so very much, Roberto, for coming on the show, explaining this. And really, one last appeal, folks, get out there and get on this. You'll find the link directly below this video on YouTube, and you'll find it in the LifeSite story as well. May God bless you all. And from all of us at LifeSite News, we wish you a happy and holy Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Hello, this is John Henry Weston. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the John Henry Weston Show YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. There you will find all the past episodes and much more. Thanks again for watching, and may God bless you.